Ladies and gentlemen, in today's special International Weather Bulletin, we would like to bring you a comprehensive picture of the complex and severe meteorological changes forming across North America, the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and even the Arctic region, where large-scale atmospheric systems are simultaneously shifting, interacting, and creating a weather phase considered the strongest, widest, and most unpredictable since the beginning of this winter season. All these developments occur right before, during, and after the Thanksgiving holiday, a time when tens of millions of Americans begin traveling, making the weather impacts more concerning than ever. According to the latest forecast model sequences, the period from today until early December will be a corridor of extreme weather, where multiple strong phenomena appear at the same time. Thunderstorms, tornadoes, hail, heavy snow, blizzards, strong winds, deep Arctic cold air intrusions, and even unusual signals of a late-season tropical disturbance that may form over the Central America-Caribbean region. This means North America is preparing to enter what experts are calling a chaotic seasonal transition, when the entire atmospheric structure is violently disrupted by the combination of major oscillations such as the MJO, EPO, AO, the polar vortex, and deep upper-level troughs. Right now, over the western United States, the jet stream axis is beginning to dip unusually deep. In the upper atmosphere, a strong ridge of high pressure has just weakened and is immediately replaced by a deep trough stretching from Alaska down to the coasts of California and Oregon. As this cold trough moves inland, it drags Arctic air southward while creating an extremely favorable environment for the formation of new low-pressure systems. These lows will gradually separate from the main trough, drift east and northeast, then converge over the central U.S. Mississippi Valley, where moisture disturbances from the Gulf of Mexico rise strongly. Near the ground, moist air from the Gulf is being continuously drawn northward, mixing with descending cold air to form a large instability corridor, precisely the cause of the first dangerous thunderstorm outbreak in this week-long weather sequence. Today, strong thunderstorms will appear over West Texas, where atmospheric instability indicators are rising rapidly. Deep convective cells may develop into small supercells, generating strong wind gusts and the possibility of low-level tornadoes. As night falls, this unfavorable weather zone expands eastward, affecting areas such as Abilene, San Angelo, and gradually moving toward Dallas-Fort Worth. Tomorrow, as the mid-level jet digs deeper inland, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma will face a high risk of supercells accompanied by large hail, small tornadoes, and damaging winds. A convective band will be activated from the south, where warm air from the Gulf advances and meets the cold air dropping down from the north. This collision zone creates ideal conditions for localized vortex formation. By Tuesday, the entire system will sweep across Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee, causing the southern southeastern United States to face yet another day of extreme weather. Meanwhile, in northern states such as Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, another system is forming in a completely opposite fashion. A cold low-pressure mass from Canada is gradually spilling southward into an area already characterized by low surface temperatures, making the air increasingly cold and dry. When this cold air encounters weak moisture from southern Minnesota and Wisconsin, snow begins to form and intensify. Snowfall is forecast to reach 10 to 20 cm across eastern Dakotas, western Minnesota, and even 25-30 cm in certain areas along Lake Superior. Strong wind gusts of 40-60 km/h may reduce visibility to just a few hundred meters, creating dangerous whiteout, blizzard-like conditions. Not only the U.S., but northern Ontario and Quebec in Canada are experiencing similar conditions. Along the corridor from Thunder Bay, Wawa, Timmins, Moosonee, winter storm warnings have been issued. Snowfall projections range from 15 to 40 cm, combined with strong winds that may cause hazardous travel conditions on Highways 11 and 17 from Tuesday night through Wednesday. Immediately after these thunderstorm and snow events, the U.S. is preparing to face an even more significant development, a powerful Arctic cold outbreak rushing in right after Thanksgiving. According to the latest analysis, a segment of the polar vortex is beginning to split and drift southward, while the deep trough along the west coast continues to intensify. This allows extremely cold Arctic air from Canada to flow directly into the Midwest, Great Lakes, and even the southern United States. Temperatures are expected to drop 10 to 15 degrees east within just 24 hours in many regions. States such as Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania may experience the deepest cold spell since the beginning of the winter season, accompanied by lake-effect snow downwind of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. In particular, areas along the lakes such as Buffalo, Niagara, Cleveland, and even the Golden Horseshoe region around Toronto may receive narrow, intense, dangerous snow bands. Lake-effect snow typically forms when moisture from the lake surface is lifted into the air, meets plunging cold air, freezes into snow, and is blown toward the shore. Each snow band may produce significant accumulation in a short period, making roads slippery, reducing visibility, and increasing the risk of accidents. In regions farther south, such as Tennessee, Arkansas, and northern Mississippi, snow is not the primary concern, but deep cold temperatures may create thin sheets of black ice, posing dangerous travel conditions during early morning hours. At the same time, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO, is entering a phase favorable for convection. A dynamic energy pocket will shift from the eastern Pacific into Central America, then into the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. This means the chances of a late-season tropical disturbance may increase. However, the probability remains low. The GFS ensemble suggests about 6 out of 30 members simulate a well-organized disturbance near the Central American gyre, equivalent to an 18% chance. ECMWF is far more conservative, showing only 1 to 2 out of 50 scenarios with a weak vortex, equivalent to 4 to 6%. The U.S. National Hurricane Center, NHC, is currently not monitoring any area for the next 7 days. Nevertheless, experts caution that from November 29th to December 3rd, the region near Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize should be closely watched as high sea temperatures, abundant moisture, and some favorable low-level winds may temporarily support the development of a small low-pressure area. If formation occurs, the system will likely remain weak and move quickly, with little chance of becoming a tropical storm. In Canada, Ontario is preparing to face 2 consecutive heavy snow events. The first occurring in the northern part of the province, from Thunder Bay to Wawa and up to Timmins, is expected to begin Tuesday night and continue through Thursday. This snowfall is associated with a large-scale winter storm, producing 1540 cm of snow, strong winds, and limited visibility. Immediately after this system departs, Arctic air will surge into southern Ontario. This cold mass, combined with moisture from Lake Huron and Lake Erie, will generate lake-effect snow from Thursday morning through the weekend. Regions such as Bruce Peninsula, Parry Sound, Muskoka, and Niagara-Buffalo are at risk of developing strong snow bands. Some models even indicate these bands may shift southeastward, entering the Greater Toronto Area and potentially sweeping Toronto with a high-intensity snow squall, an entirely possible scenario when winds shift suddenly within the cold air mass. Overall, you can envision that from today until early December, North America will not see a truly calm day. Major atmospheric systems are aligning one after another. 3 consecutive days of severe thunderstorms in the south, heavy snow in the north, Arctic air plunging south immediately after Thanksgiving, prolonged lake-effect snow, and an additional small risk of a late-season tropical disturbance. These combined elements will produce a widespread chaotic weather period. We will continue monitoring every development of the jet stream, cold lows, low-level moisture, MJO progression, and provide updates in our upcoming bulletins. Thank you for following today's report. We wish you a peaceful evening. If you find this bulletin useful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any important updates in the coming days.